What's going on? Welcome to the Ford Social Conversations podcast. We're back. Episode number two.
All right.
As y'all can see, the look is different. First episode, a little shaky with the camera. That's the producer's fault.
Clean it
My
up.
fault. Yeah, but we're back. Episode number 2. I got my man KP. I call him Mr. Pierre.
Going on.
Got my man Mike and Larry, the modified gentleman.
What up?
What's going on, fellas?
It was good, man.
going on,
What's
man?
up? Good.
I'm good.
Yeah,
Behind
yeah.
the scenes.
I see that.
Oh, and I got myself Leon, the producer.
He'll switch roles over here.
Yeah. How's y'all week been?
Pretty good. Mine's been pretty good. Yeah.
Mine been busy, man.
Yeah.
It's always something to do.
Yeah.
Waiting on Friday.
Waiting on Friday.
Yeah. Hey, it's Thursday, so we pre-Friday and up, ready to go.
Yeah.
Yeah, early this week, I had the opportunity to meet Malcolm X's daughter.
Oh yeah.
And Duke is doing this thing where they have celebrating Black History throughout the month of February. And I didn't know this was going on. And now that I look at the lineup, they gonna have like the Fisk Jubilee singers that'll be there
Okay.
on Sunday. And so I kind of got in to this lecture, book signing at the last minute. So it was really a treat, to be able to put my arms around and talk to one of my heroes' daughters, who is just as fierce as in her own right. She's very accomplished.
Yeah.
And it was pretty good. She brought a lot of levity to her lecture. She talked about a lot of things that I had no idea about. I thought I knew a lot about Malcolm X and his upbringing, from his mom to even his father being killed, and mama being, this educated woman. They made her look like she was not mentally there so they can take her children. But the first thing that stood out was how tall she was. And she talked about her height, and she said if all her sisters was there, we would really see it, because it's like 6 girls.
Yeah.
And so she's very tall. And she talked about, she said, well, make no mistake about it. She said my mom was 5'9", and her dad was 6'4". She said she hate that when they portraits of him or when they shot videos of him, they made him look like he was 4 foot tall.
Oh man.
It's the same thing.
I didn't think about that. Yeah.
Yeah. It's to make him look small in
Right.
stature.
Right.
No different than the way they do the maps. They have Africa.
Yeah.
They have
buddy.
America bigger than Africa, when you can fit 6 Americas in the continent of Africa. So a lot of that stuff is done intentional.
Yeah.
And she talked about that, and you could see the way it kind of hit her a certain way. But she also talked about coming back to Durham and, how the Black Student Union, or whatever that group is that got her to come and sign her book, do a book signing, do a lecture. She talked about how her daddy said, that you cannot suppress truth. And she said that in 1963, her dad was scheduled to come here and talk, because at this time, Duke was accepting their first Black student
Oh wow. Yeah.
in 1963. So at the time, Floyd McKesson, who, was a lawyer here, he reached out to Brother Malcolm to come and give some talks about, the first Black student and, just kind of uplifting the Black community. And they had him come, and when Duke found out it was him, they canceled it. It's
They
like,
pulled
no,
the
he's
plug.
not welcome on this property. He's not welcome on this campus.
Yeah. Ain't surprised.
And so he had to do his lecture at this place. She named the place. I got to go through the wormhole and find out this place, but she said that it was another brother. She said just a regular citizen guy who owned, let's just say something like an amphitheater.
Okay.
And it was here in Durham.
He had an event space.
He had an event space in
Yeah.
63, right?
Right, yeah.
And his last name was Page. I forgot his first name. And he said, y'all can do it here.
Good.
And so he was able to give his talks in 63 about, coming to Durham, and how the powers that be didn't want to hear the truth.
Yeah.
And then come maybe sometime later, her mom, Betty Shabash, was asked to come to Durham to speak. And it was at another event space. It was near it was near the train tracks. And she said that they strategically placed one of them rail cars, conductor cars, and when she went on, they was pulling on the horn.
Man.
Yeah. And she
Yo.
said that one of the people at the thing went up there and had a conversation with that conductor.
I bet he did. Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And she said they were still unwelcoming because she was trying to tell the truth. She said, so come full circle 2026, here she is at Duke. Now she's going to tell the truth of what her mom and dad was trying to tell.
I like that. Man. I
And
appreciate
so
that.
she said, my daddy could never, the truth could never be suppressed. And so I thought that was very interesting. So like I said, she dropped a lot of nuggets, and she was very welcoming. And so I enjoyed it.
Yeah,
It was a
she's an
pleasure
amazing
meeting her.
woman, man.
Yeah.
Amazing. I've seen a few of her interviews here and there. Still beautiful. She's in her 60s too. Yeah.
She's in her 60s. I was playing with I was kind of like, wait a minute. She looked kind of young.
Yeah,
and
right. She
Because the most harrowing thing that she talked about when she went into the week leading up to her father's assassination, because, the house, she said our house was firebombed.
Right.
It was about a week before the assassination. And that's where you see that picture. Like I wanted to, I forgot. I thought to do it, but I didn't bring it because I got that picture with Malcolm standing in that window with that
With the
Italian
AK?
carbine,
Yeah.
and I got that picture.
Yeah.
And I was thinking I was going to bring it so that she can, autograph it. But I was like, nah, it's too big. It's too much. I don't
You
want
be in there with that big
to. I don't want to
picture?
be that dude. But I wanted her to sign that picture, man.
You should have been that dude.
Yeah, I didn't want to be that dude, but so I was like, because I was wondering, because I also was contemplating, because I have the Actively Black Malcolm X hoodie that that they dropped,
Yeah.
and I didn't want it to seem disrespectful because I don't know how the kids perceive
Right.
the memorabilia that people may wear. I was trying to be, but she liked it. She commented on a couple. Matter of fact, when I went up to her for her to sign my book, because you had to get your book signed and then you had to get another line to do the photos. And when I pulled up, she went into her purse. She went to reach going in her purse, and she pulls out her phone, and she was like, "Stay still," and she was kind of like. And she took like a little video. She did that. And then I said, what was that? She was like, oh no, it's just I want somebody to see that hoodie.
You about to get a cease
And
and
I was like,
desist
okay, yeah, right. I'm thinking, she said, she said, no, she said, I wanted to show somebody that hoodie. And then when I took the picture with her, she commented, she said, that's a nice hoodie. She said, she said, did I get that from the Sabash Legacy Center? I said, no, I got it from, now I'm thinking she might not like it. Yeah. I said, no, I got it at Actively Black. And she said, oh, Lanny, yeah. She said, good.
Okay.
She was like, good. It was good. She said, it's good to see it.
Yeah.
Because they did it, that drop had Fred Hampton. It had a lot of people in that drop, and you had to order it.
Yeah.
And they only
because you thought your order
it didn't come.
Walked up.
Right.
Yeah.
It didn't come, and then eventually it came. But
that's what's up.
I got, I ordered that drop was in October, I think, and I didn't get it until January.
Okay. Yeah.
So I knew that it was a special order, and I knew I wouldn't see too many of them.
Yeah.
But she did. So that was pretty good.
That worked out.
It worked out. So I just wish I'd have got my picture signed, but that's okay.
Hey, look, that was your chance. You should have did it. Don't worry about what people think.
I know. I just didn't want to be that guy. And she was, but
you
she
played
was,
it cool, man.
I played it cool, man.
You played
It was
it cool,
hospitable,
bro. Don't be
man.
extra. Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't be extra.
And there was, it was very interesting. There were a lot of, it was. I would say the crowd was probably 95% African American.
Good. I would hope so.
Along with, what are you trying to get my attention for, Leon?
Check your phone.
Check my phone. Okay. So I could still talk. So it was 95% African American, but what it also did was show me the range of people, and there were a lot of Muslims.
Oh, of course.
Yeah, there was a lot of Muslims in that crowd, and they range from any ethnicity.
Right.
And so they were doing the prayer. They were praying in the back, facing the east. I would have, how they do, and so that was cool. Saw a lot of that. So
That's a dope experience, man.
shout out to Duke for that, man. It was at the Mary Lou Williams Center. I think that is. What I did not know is that play, because I've been there before, and it was a black jazz singer that they dedicated that auditorium to.
Nice.
I was like, okay,
Let's go Duke. Let's go Duke.
Hey.
Did she say anything about the government admitting their involvement in his assassination?
No, she did not touch that, but she did. I think for political reasons, she probably didn't want to get into that. But what she did talk about the dynamic between Malcolm and Martin Luther King, and she said, make no mistake about it, they were not enemies, and they were friends. And she said that, as someone explained before, there are two people doing an awkward dance. They both wanted the same things. They just agreed differently how to get it.
Yeah.
And she talked about the strong man of her father, and she talked about Jesse and them were encountering, I think it was the March in Selma, because remember Bloody Sunday when John Lewis got beat, Martin Luther King was not there. He came there the first time, got to the bridge, and he said, you know what, we're not going to do this. But she talked about how her daddy supported him in the background with, he sent a letter to whomever these people were and said, y'all better not harm a hair on his head, because if you do, we're not to turn the other cheek.
Right.
Yeah, he was real
After
about
she
that.
said, my daddy wasn't violent. She was like, my daddy wasn't a violent man. And then she went on to talk about how he sent a letter stating to the powers that be that nothing better not, where they are, something better not, else you're going to have to deal with the FOI.
Mike,
And the nation. or the
you
brothers.
brought up the government having been involved. How much can you talk about that? Because we was talking about this in the barbershop a couple weeks ago, and some people still. It's like when stuff comes to light, some people still want to hold on to the old truth, even though people are admitting it. Like some people are still saying that the Nation of Islam has something to do with it.
They set him up,
Well, I mean, from what I understand, the state of New York admitted that he was being followed or surveilled, you know what I'm saying, and that they pulled surveillance when they knew that the act was about to take place. And he had security as well, Malcolm did, but their level of involvement could not be concealed anymore. So it was just a situation where they had to, basically admit their involvement. You know what I'm saying? So, and plus the two guys who did all that time, they were able to tell their story, and the truth came out as well with that. So, but she did, I know she didn't speak about it at Duke, but she did get a chance to make a statement at a press conference a few years back when it all took place. You know what I'm saying? So, and she didn't have, because they asked her about, how she felt. Like the NOI got in front of it too. They wanted people to know and see this. You know what I'm saying? And so I was just curious if she did say anything. But it makes sense for her not to. Too.
No, she didn't. I think she took the opportunity of completing the legacy of her father, fulfilling a thing from 1963 until 2026. The one thing that she did talk about that I did not know about, one other thing before we transition, is that while in prison, her father was on a debate team, and that debate team debated Harvard, and they debated a lot of these prominent schools, and they won, and he was the head debater. Now that I did not know. And she said that was she was made aware of that. She said right before COVID.
She didn't know that either.
She didn't know it either.
Oh, that's crazy.
And then the information came to her, and she was able to validate it. But I never knew. I mean, it would make sense.
Yeah.
Because one, he went in as Malcolm Little, came out Malcolm X, and the intelligence was always there.
Yeah.
So,
You got to be able to state your argument and support it.
yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. That's what's up.
Yeah. So moving on. We all know, rest in peace to Reverend Jesse Jackson.
Yes, rest in peace.
Okay.
And was he the second black person to run for president, right? Second, Shirley
I think
Chisholm.
so. Shirley Chisholm was first.
Yeah, 19. I think hers was 72. He was 88 and
84 and 88.
84 and 88. Yeah, correct. So can y'all give some thoughts on that, Larry?
I mean, it's way before my time.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, me growing up, I just knew of him as being one of the civil rights leaders, that was in that crowd that stood right beside Martin. And that's what you kind of learn, just kind of growing up throughout school, like that was his position. And then when Martin passed, he kind of carried the torch. So, and surprisingly, he just kept that going the whole time. I mean, like he was Al Sharpton's mentor. So it was a lot of history there that I wasn't a part of, but still was affected by. So, I mean, I don't have anything personal for him personally, but I understand what he stood for, as him being a civil rights icon, put it that way.
Yeah.
That's the way I see him too. I see him as an icon. He had some maybe some fair criticisms about his life while he was alive. And his involvement with King's assassination, or some of the things he did with the Democratic Party. Got him heavily criticized.
Yeah.
But I mean, this is where I guess like black fatigue kind of kicks in for me.
Uh-oh,
'Cause
not
I
the
don't
bla-
want to
not the
drag
black
this guy.
fatigue.
You know what I'm saying? Because I don't want to see, because to me he is like a hero. Like I see him as a somebody that Black Americans can really be proud of.
And we ain't got too many leaders.
You know what I'm saying?
We
But
haven't
I
had
just
too
see
many.
what people have been doing to MLK the past couple of years online and stuff, and just kicking his back in. Like we just getting started with Jesse.
Right.
I want my man to rest in peace. But
Well, what you mean by the black fatigue, though? Go ahead.
just trying to defend our heroes, our legacy, our culture. It's always a constant attack, some sort of mental psyop or something, like constantly getting gaslit. Having to they keep moving the needle and just having to keep proving or validating ourselves. For
Because I look at it like this: like you can come up and you can say something good, and there's like two more people behind you saying, purposely looking for something, hunting for something negative to say.
Yeah.
And it's like we don't even have to be on that level.
Yeah.
Like we could. I get a lot of that where it's like we're tearing each other down, especially when we're talking about our community leaders and things like that.
Yeah.
Because and we're gonna get to some more of that later on in the podcast. We're talking about our community leaders.
Yeah.
But like for Jesse Jackson, you were saying there's a lot about a lot of criticisms about his past. And I mean, everybody got a different kind of past they're trying to improve on. But I feel like when we're trying to give them their flowers, there's somebody back there trying to stomp them flowers out.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah.
And it's crazy. And like you say, it's still, we're trying to do something positive in the community, give each other our respect, man. But there's always going to be somebody there that's just like, nah, it's like, why we got to do that?
Yeah,
for no reason.
He was able to do things American presidents couldn't do, or
exactly.
heads of state. You know what I'm saying? And getting hostages released, and stuff like that. So he was a fighter.
Nobody's
man.
perfect.
Yeah,
nobody's perfect.
He did his thing.
Yeah. So
he was. It was Chris Rock made he made a joke about Jesse. He was talking about. He said, "I wonder what Jesse Jackson told the hostage holders." He was saying he said he must have went over there and said, "Y'all really want to piss America off? Yeah. give the hostages to me.
Yeah.
And he was able to secure it on 3 different occasions. Hostages. One tidbit that I learned about Jesse that I didn't know was his name was Jesse Louis Jackson, but it was Jesse Louis Burns. I did not know that. He carried the last name Burns up until he was 13 years old because he was born out of wedlock. The neighbor next door.
Yeah.
You know.
Oh, he was a Jon Snow. Okay.
Yeah,
All
so
right.
he carried Burns up until he was 13 years old.
That's what's up.
Now I knew he was out of Greenville, South Carolina, but I did not know I didn't know that his last name was Burns.
Okay.
Up until he was 13. So that was cool to learn. But he was also instrumental in, with Barack getting the nomination because Hillary won more delegates than he did. But what Jesse did in the 88 was he challenged the Democratic Party and they changed the way they did the delegate system. Because like if you were in New York and you were running against somebody in New York and it was New York and let's say Ohio and just 100 delegates here and 104 here.
Yeah.
And so the way it was, if you won, the way I may be explaining it wrong, but if it's 100 here and 104 here, if you won this one, then you had 204.
Right, you would take that.
Yeah, you would take the other ones, and they changed that. And you get what you want.
Yeah.
No
more, no less.
Yeah. Because I think in that second run, he won like 19 states. And the first one, 11. Yeah, it was something like that.
Good run.
He was a force. I think the thing that derailed that 88 campaign was him making those comments about the Jewish community. He made that comment.
Yeah. You can't do that.
And after that, he went downhill. But
can't do that.
I want to tell a story though, man. Can I tell a story?
Wait a minute, what kind of story are we telling?
I want to tie it into when we talk about knowing your history for yourself and not letting people teach you your history and why you need to know it.
Okay,
I can do the short version.
Well, let me say this. He won 11 primaries and caucuses and earned nearly 7 million votes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So he
And I think in
that was
88.
in 1988. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah.
Let's hear your story, KP.
So the
Knowing your history.
KP history. When I was working on the Causeway, like I said, as a young person, I was working there, and everybody knows the story. I was one of the young black people that did work there, and I worked with all those good old boys. And if you don't learn your history or know your history, the others will teach you your history, and you will not like the way it is. And so I remember there was maybe a rainbow somewhere, and they were like, they made a comment about, well, you shouldn't like rainbows. Rainbows is for, and this was before the alphabet community. He said, if you support rainbows, then you're gay.
Yeah.
And so they conditioned me that when I would, when they talked about some rainbows, like the rainbow, because it was, because at the time, I did not know that Jesse Jackson founded the Rainbow Push Coalition. And that rainbow, the coloring of it wasn't for the alphabet community. It was because of joining all nationalities and colors to come under one umbrella to do a thing. And so, man, they had me every time we saw a rainbow. It was like, oh no, I don't support the Rainbow Coalition. And they used to call it Rainbow Coalition.
Yeah.
It's like, you part of that Rainbow Coalition. You part of Rainbow. And they had me denouncing something that I didn't know about. And because no one had taught me.
There wasn't no Google back then.
And let me say, it was for people united to save humanity.
Yeah.
That was a push.
Rainbow Push Coalition. So
it got perverted.
So that's why I tell people, learn your history. Don't let nobody teach it to you, because you'll end up like I did in a situation where I'm not going to say my oppressors, but I allowed someone else to teach me the history in the wrong way and had me speaking against a coalition that actually supported me and my community, and they bastardized it as something else.
Yeah.
I knew when he was running for that, when he ran for president back in the 80s, I knew, even though he lost, I was like, I'm gonna see a black president in my lifetime. You know what I'm saying? But when I went back and looked at some of those old clips of him talking, he was just dripping in sweat, man. I was like, we didn't have the right aesthetic at that time. You know what I'm saying? We needed Barack to come in, or somebody a little bit more refined and, kind of, in the middle.
Yeah.
But he had that, black preacher thing going strong, man.
He had the momentum.
yeah.
He had.
They are now, and they talked about that. I think somebody else talked about how they introduced our leaders as Reverend, like Reverend Al Sharpton,
Ooh, yeah.
Reverend Jesse Jackson.
It was like that's all they was
And
coming
that's
from.
why they say that's our leaders, and that's not should have been the titles.
Yeah.
Right.
So, Mike, you saying he couldn't have won with that fire?
I don't think so.
With that
He
fire.
was, he had me excited, really, and I was only like 10 years old, but looking at him do that and hearing some of the stories that my dad was talking about, because he grew up during the civil rights, era of movement. And so I was like, it's possible, and one of his things was keep hope alive.
Keep hope alive.
Yeah.
So he was a force, man.
All right, man. Shout out.
Keep hope alive. That's what Rock got that. His campaign was hope, wasn't it? Wasn't it hope?
Yeah, hope.
Yeah.
Hope.
Yeah. Shout out to Reverend Jesse Jackson.
Jesse.
Jesse
JJ.
Jackson. Yeah. So that all I got to say about Jesse Jackson.
Yeah, man.
I think so, man.
Yeah, rest in power.
It seems like Mike want to say more, but he don't want that black fatigue to kick in.
Nah, I ain't. Look, I just don't want to kick the man's back in. Not on my watch.
Right. But it is a lot
Don't
of
be
people.
that guy.
If you go on Facebook, it's a lot of people. I think I put it in the chat that
Yeah.
they got that black fatigue. They going in on them.
Yeah.
Nah, I'm gonna be honest. You I don't even know if that's just black fatigue. That's just straight anger.
Yeah.
Because when you think about it, man, there are people. We talking about young people too. Some of them like in their 20s and 30s. They wasn't even alive back then, or they was just barely. But it's like, why they angry?
Because they letting somebody else teach them their history.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
right, until you know it for yourself,
And it's like
you
you said-
become slaves without masters.
Yeah.
Like you said earlier, Larry, a lot of times, we all have our mistakes,
Yeah.
downfalls. We all have different
Yeah.
things that go on. Nobody's perfect. Nobody's perfect.
Makes us
If I
human.
really, really want to get in on Jesse, I do it tomorrow when I get my cut. The barbershop is a perfect place.
Perfect time.
Yeah. Facts.
Yeah. moving on. Jamal Bryant said that 87% of you Negroes from HBCUs are not donating to your HBCU campus.
What was that number?
He said 87%.
87%.
Yeah, that's what he said.
That's still a high number.
Yeah.
Still a high number. But wait, did he give any reasons, or he just calling it like that? Like,
I forgot what the
I guess it really don't even matter. Only thing you can do is the results of, hey, we're losing money at this point. For a lot
I
of
wonder
HBCUs.
if Jamal Bryant would be okay if people who tithe at his church
Right.
start tithing to HBCUs.
Because it's still a tide.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think of it as a subscription, but sure.
I don't know if you want
I
to touch
definitely
on that
feel that HBCU, grads or alums should donate. You can't make people donate, but I know for me, I can only speak from a singular point of view on this. I feel responsible, given the history and how these institutions came into existence. I don't want to leave the burden for these institutions to keep going on the state or somebody who may have malintent for the institution as a whole. It was DeSantis down in Florida and his, crew trying to have the schools down there not use black in the name of the institution, you know what I'm saying? Little petty stuff like that. Or even when the assassination of Charlie Kirk happened last year, one of the first things Linda McMahon did was cut funding to HBCU. So the government really understands the power or the energy around HBCUs for them to just be attacking it in that way. But yeah, the funds, it's so easy to donate too. That's the crazy thing. Well, I can't speak to all schools, but you get I went to NCCU. You just go on the website and anybody,
donation,
you just make a donation.
I figured
What's going on? I hope that you are enjoying this episode, but I wanted to take the time out to ask you to please subscribe to the podcast. I've noticed that a lot of people are watching but are not subscribed. Make sure you subscribe, like, share, and don't forget to hit the notification bell. That way you won't miss an episode when it's aired or about to air. And also make sure you go to impelforwardmerch.com. That's impelforwardmerch.com. Grab you something. Now back to the episode.
at least try to make it like low obstacles.
Yeah.
So you can do that, But it, like you said, it comes down to the people. They have to find something in them personally, like a connection to donate. I never went to a HBCU, but I would love to donate to them, just because I have a connection with that culturally. Right. I've known lots of people who've gone to. Now I visited a lot of campuses, a lot of women on the campuses.
Oh yeah.
Shout out to Howard. But yeah, I mean, but I dig the culture too.
Yeah.
You know, yeah. Facts.
And so one of the things too, though, those like visits that people do to HBCUs, and especially in the early '90s. So my sister went to A&T, and that was something that we were both really driven and wanted to do. Not just us, but people in our community, because we had the Cosby Show and A Different World, and a lot of the rappers, you know what I'm saying, was really wearing the apparel and stuff like that. So it was really the thing to do between, at least for me, between like 92 and 96. If something was really going down, it was involving in
the
HBCU.
culture was so
you know
so
what I'm
deep,
saying?
so rich back then. Even with the show Living Single, Queen Latifah used to wear an HBU sweatshirt or some type of shirt or a Letterman's jacket, and she used to rock some every episode, man.
Yeah, and so that's why, like, I buy the apparel, and now I buy so much apparel. People have figured out it's an easy way to gift me something. You know, they just buy me something from Central.
Right.
You know?
Hey, but that's what you want though.
Yeah.
That's what you want, because they're also buying it though. Yeah. And I mean, what you hit on as far as the Cosby Show and A Different World, hitting on that, like, I think that really brought it down to us to make it feel attainable.
Yeah.
Because, you know, a lot of people think college is out of reach, whether it's just too much money or it's just not for us, or whatever the reasons or whatever the culture may be. I think, like you were saying, back in the 90s with these TV shows, it had more of a, it made it more approachable.
Yeah.
It made it more attainable. Like, yeah, I definitely want to go to an HBCU, or I definitely want to go and be a part of that culture, you know? And I think that is what we don't have nowadays. Yeah. And I don't know, you know, why that happened. Seriously. You know? I feel like the culture, a lot of it is still there, but it's not mainstream like it used to be, you know?
I think it's a systematic erasure, man, and
True.
That's exactly what is happening right now in the present time. It's it's an effort for people to be disconnected with the recent past that we've had, and you know, these institutions started. I feel indebted almost to do everything that I can to just make a small contribution. I don't have to, you know, do it all myself. It's not what I'm at all suggesting, but I just need to stay engaged and involved and return some of that energy that I received from being at the HBCU. Yeah. There's a lady that I saw on Facebook that just started a school over in Raleigh. I think it's called Heritage Collegiate something. But anyway, she's a sister, you know, professor. I think is Basmore. But anyway, so people are still starting schools.
Nice.
But what my thing is, this school, well, just talk about NC Central, was started in 1910, so it was already started. It just needs to be maintained.
Right.
I don't have to take on that burden and go through what James Shepard went through to get the university started.
Facts.
It's already been done. The heavy lifting's already been done. So, you know, I just feel personally, as an alum, you know, when that topic came up, I'm glad that Leon put it out there on, you know, social media. I definitely chimed in because I know it's a very important institution.
It plays a part, man. I think one of the things that is constantly out there, but we don't really connect the dots, is our sense of community.
Yeah.
And so when you're talking about doing your part and feeling some type of, you know, that calling to do so, if everybody had that, we wouldn't struggle as much, you know? And we miss that in a lot of areas in our community. It's not just for education and institutions, but community safety, you know, is one thing that we fail at as far as the support group. And so HBCUs coming together and figuring out a way to put it back out there to say, hey, you know, we're here for the community. We welcome you, and we'll support each other.
Yeah.
I was talking something like on the last show. We were talking about how community is a two-way support system between when we talking about the banks.
Banks.
Yeah, we're talking about the bank supporting the community and community supporting the bank. Same thing for our educational institutions. And I just don't understand, like, that disconnect was huge wherever it's going on, because everybody can talk about homecoming week and it's crickets the rest of the year.
Yeah.
You know? Are you going to homecoming? You going to homecoming? Well, okay, what you doing? Are you donating to homecoming? Or you just going there to get some hot dogs?
Yeah,
What we doing?
Buying tickets.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah. You know?
That they still, well, let me not talk about that.
So I had one person that says HBCUs don't do a consistent job in nurturing and connecting with their alumni. And they said they donated to their HBCU. However, well, let me just read what they said. I've donated to my HBCU. However, I'm not consistent. I attended a PWI, and I'm always receiving newsletters, emails to keep me in the loop for the activities. It's very different.
See,
That's a
that
good
comes
point.
back down to what we was talking about, the customer service between two coaches. I got it, man. But then again, it comes down to a funding thing too. You know, does HBCU have the funding and the support and the resources to do outreach like that?
Well, yeah, that, I mean, with the HBCUs and our topic of graduates not donating, there's another element to that.
What you got?
That the other element is it's the Black community out of all the ethnicities here is the poorest. So if you're educating the poorest to go out into the world to earn income, well, they're already disadvantaged because, number one, they are the poorest, right? We as a collective, by as far as wealth,
and we spend the most.
and then a lot of them are leaving with student loans.
True.
Whereas some may be entering those PWIs without student loans.
Yeah.
You know, they have things that have been prepared for them to go to college, you know, where they wouldn't have to pay. So now you have a teacher graduate from Central, and she has $70,000 in student loans, and she's going to take a job making $42,000 a year.
Yeah.
How is she expected to pay that student loan?
The math ain't mathing.
And donate to the church, because you know you got to pay them tithes. And then next will be your college that you graduated from. So I think that a lot of them are just got their head above water. And I guarantee if they do the number breakdown of the ages, I guarantee that the people that donate the most is probably the older ones.
Yeah.
Made a way in life. Got rid of some of that
It's a
student
write-off
loan
for
debt.
them too. Yeah.
Right. They done started businesses, and they made. I think most of their may come from the older alumni.
Right.
Because the new generation that they just released, they can't.
Man. It's tough.
It's tough because, like I said, so I think that's part of it. That may not be the full story, but that's just me just thinking about it and thinking about, you know, who's the customer base to donate, and the customer base just so happened to be African American. But I'm gonna play devil's advocate with this, but we spend 1.9 trillion.
Right.
We lead in spending, right?
Right.
Facts. Yeah.
That's exactly right. Go ahead.
No. That's it. So that would be the caveat I would throw in there.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, now Leon was reading that comment, and I was thinking about that too. I used to get letters or periodicals, you know, alumni flyers and stuff like that, or alumni magazines. But you have to want those things, man, because if you don't mail back, you know what I'm saying? If you don't send any money or let them know that you're interested, they will stop sending them, or if you change address. But I was thinking about my dad went to 2 PWIs, and I was thinking about that earlier. He used to get some real nice like magazines, glossy and embossed like covers and stuff, and it was
and they printed them at the college.
You know,
they printed them on site.
And another thing that Jamal Bryant probably didn't talk about, I didn't see it, but also there's there's a stigma about the mismanagement of funds at some of these universities.
Yeah, I didn't want to get into that.
And even at Central, like we had a situation a few years back, and it made the news. But the changes of leadership. You get a good chancellor in there that can stay and maintain, and that makes a big difference too. So it's a lot of inner workings because it's a business, and that's the thing. Like these institutions didn't necessarily start to be a business, but they have become businesses. And some of these institutions, and I keep using these examples, but like A&T and Central, they do pretty good, because they do have such strong alumni in the area. But there's some of the private institutions. Somebody mentioned Barber Scotia earlier. These private institutions, they need those donations. They need funding. It's just not coming from the state.
Well, I wanna say something as far as, I guess, making it a little more easier. Is that we don't have to continuously regulate it to just money as a donation. I know the dollars are amazing, but if you went to a HBCU or you're interested in HBCU, look it up, see what volunteer programs they got. What can you do for the school? If you're not donating dollars, can you donate time? Can you donate a service? Do you have a company that can also, support the college itself, Because we have to not get locked in on just how much money I can dish out, how much I need to, come out my wallet, my bank account. But you might have something useful of service in another way for that institution. I mean, if you make little league jerseys, maybe you could do something, for the chess team. I don't know, but I think for the most part, people got to start thinking outside the box. Because once you just put yourself in those four walls, then you're like, I can't do nothing. That's all I can do. So just look for different ways that you can volunteer, that you can support. It does not have to be locked in just to a dollar amount. Because when you do that, a lot of people, they quit right there. Oh, you donate some money? Nah, I'm good. They stop, But you might be able to do something else. You might be able to go do a fish fry or something. Who knows?
I'm tired of the fish fries, Larry.
Hey.
One idea that they can do is this school in Chicago, high school, was petitioning Michelle Obama to come in either to their graduation or was it their homecoming? I think it was their graduation. And so they just bombarded her with a bunch of videos. And it was videos of the students. Like, we would love to have you. And they just kept bombarding her. And she's human. So she responded and she said, we're in touch with your people at the school, and we're going to make this happen. So they just kept bombarding her with the videos, and it melted her heart. HBCU people, get your president and your people to do the same thing to Mackenzie Scott, because she giving it out.
That's a good point.
You know what I'm saying? She giving it out. That's our fairy godmother. She's donated over $550 million. Get your president. And you get your marketing team, and y'all start shooting videos, petitioning.
Hey, she doing it though.
Especially Barber Scotia. I mean, they fighting their accreditation right now, right?
Crazy.
Something like that.
Crazy.
So I'm just saying that's what I would do.
Hey, you said a word right there. Okay. Nah, I get it.
Yeah, that made me, even after I put that out, that made me think about, I didn't go to HBCU. But I went to a black barber college.
Hey, that counts, man.
Harris Barber College.
Yeah, that counts at this point. I seen Coming to America. You in there. You in there.
Now, I've been back there a couple of times once to talk to the students of becoming barbers. But it's not.
There you go.
It's not a black, everybody comes through there. Black, white. Well, I guess, HBCUs too. HBCUs.
They do, ain't they?
So. But it is a historical black barber college. It is. And this made me think about, I don't know, I've been there to speak, but I don't know about as far as giving back or giving money or anything like that. But I'll go visit. I haven't been in a while. I think it's time for me to take a trip.
Yeah, like definitely, man. If you go back and tell them your story and, like this is your stomping grounds.
Yeah.
Go to your, what you call it, HB...
Harris Barber College. HBCU. It's an HBCU.
HBCU. Historically black Barber College.
Yeah.
That's
It
actually funny.
is.
Yeah, that's dope.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah, that's actually
dope.
funny.
That's dope.
It might be one of the. I had to look it up. The oldest ones in the state. Matter of fact.
That's right by Shaw, ain't it?
Yeah, right by Shaw.
Yeah. So yeah, that's one of the oldest HBCUs in the country. Shaw.
Right.
You know, so
That's dope. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good one. Moving on to the Durham mayor crying for help. It's been a lot of shootings going on in Durham, in the Durham community. He was on a, I guess, I don't know if he was it an interview, Larry, or
I think it was a town hall.
town hall?
I think it was a town hall.
Yeah, he was crying for help and saying, not actually literally crying, but, you know.
Calling out, crying
calling
out.
out, you know, saying, you know,
Figuratively.
what can he do? He can't do it by himself.
Yeah.
You know, they need more help in the community. You know, a lot of times we talk about what we're going to do in the community, but what has really been done?
That's one of the burdens, man, of leadership, is that everybody expects you to have all the answers. Like I was saying earlier, man, like the community has to share some of that burden, you know? They at least have to acknowledge it. Let's start there. How would one person, like,
No, you was hitting the wire.
Oh, you can hear that?
Yes.
but I was just saying, like, when the community looks for one person as the savior, it's not gonna really turn out as good as they think like that. You know, it never will end well that way, because he gonna probably end up, you know, throwing his hands up and just, what y'all expect me to do? I can't do it by myself. I see that a lot too, when I see so many people put the burdens of the community solely on the parents. And I think they do have a part of it. It's 50% the parents' job and how they raise their kids, but it's also the other 50% is everything else that out there in the world trying to get your kids' attention, you know? So we talk about the mayor saying, hey, what can we do about the violence in our city? Like, I'm trying to do what I can at my level, but I can't do what y'all doing behind closed doors. So when your leaders call out for help, at least listen, you know? I don't know the mayor. I don't know the guy personally, never talked to him. But I understand the message. And that's what we should all understand, or at least pay attention to. The message is, hey, we all have a singular problem. We all got this one problem. But it's gonna take all of us to fix it. Don't just come to me and expect me to fix it. Because the majority of people who are complaining are usually the ones who are not helping. You know?
right.
And that's crazy to me. That's crazy to me. I always say there are two valid complaints in the world. A valid complaint is something you can't change, man. It's thunder and it's lightning outside.
Yeah.
You ain't gonna change that. You don't like your job and you gonna complain about it? That's invalid, man. Go find somewhere else to work.
Right. That's
Like
true.
you in
That's
control
deep.
of that. You can change
Yeah,
that.
you in control of that.
So it's valid and invalid joints. So I mean that's my little soapbox right there.
I feel you,
Really?
man. When I first I just saw maybe a couple of seconds when he threw his hands up in the air. You could tell he was frustrated, man. And I try to put myself in his shoes. I was like, man, what would I do? But it's difficult. But that position is like a platform for that office to really make a direct communication. And I think at the point that we find ourselves with the violence, it's just like the community, parents, like we missed it already. We missed the opportunity at the point that people are, you know, committing violent acts against each other. But from that office, maybe there's an opportunity to speak directly to the people, you know, to the people that might be doing it. And so if there is like somehow
they ain't watching the
those
news.
people, but you know what I'm saying, they might
not.
see this podcast and I say like, brothers, you know,
They're not watching.
sit down for one day.
We
you
can
know
always
what I'm
make an
saying?
appeal. We
You
can
know?
always do that.
I'll tell them maybe a suggestion, consider, you know, just take a break from, you know, putting any, you know, drugs, alcohol in your body for one day. You know what I'm saying? Sit at the house, lock yourself in your room.
Go play some games.
Just go out of your room to eat or use the bathroom for one day. Like try to let it cool off for one day. And if they can be okay for one day, they might be all right. But also consider that if they don't get killed, you know what I'm saying, while participating in that activity, they're probably going to be in a small place like that room. You know what I'm saying? if it don't go the way they think. You know what I'm saying? So,
Yo, nah, you can say they gonna get locked
he can
up.
speak directly to
or
the people.
in their coffin.
Yeah,
You're
that's
gonna
what I'm
end up.
saying.
You're gonna end up in solitary. You keep on going
One way or the other.
Yeah, one way or the other.
Yeah,
I don't listen. I don't know. I'm like the Mary. I've got to. I won't, because if you talk about it the way we need to talk about it, Black community gets mad.
Yeah.
Not the community who understands what you're saying. The ones who's out there who have those kids that's out there terrorizing the damn neighborhood. So you can't talk like we need to talk because they're gonna come from, they're gonna come for you.
Yep.
And those people that are doing these crimes, they got the power of the people behind them, protecting them, enabling them. Because a lot of times I'm watching, man, the moms is with it. The moms is talking about pull up. They want the smoke. And so these kids grow up seeing this, and this is what they have. I mean, this is what they emulate. I don't know what to say, man. I always talk about, when I used to talk about it, I always talk about personal agency would help, being that I am me, and I'm going to raise this young man to be a better version of me in the world. It's my responsibility to put a better product out there than what I am.
Right.
And if every man would take that personal agency to do that, I think we can curve some of it. It's not going to stop it, but it'll help curve it because now he knows what a father is, he knows what love is, and he's not seeking it in the streets from his home. He's talking about, man, I love you, man. His first love should have been his daddy. Yeah. And so that might curve some of it because that dad may teach him, hey, man, that's not your ops. Yeah. Neither one of y'all own none of this. Matter of fact, everybody renting. So how is that your ops? Right. I often say that, man, if we can get them when they're young, our Black kids, when they're reaching first grade between 5 and 12, and if they're taught that this is my brother, I do under no circumstances, and we come up with these pledges, this is my brother, I will protect him, I love him, he does no harm to me, I do no harm to him. If these kids grow up with that, they'll carry that in their spirits, and that may help, but with the mayor situation, whenever there's high crime, there's always high poverty. Yeah. So the other part of it is poverty. Yeah. If I'm not eating and I want this, I'm gonna go get it.
Crime is usually a symptom of the community.
Crime
itself.
is a symptom of absolutely right. Yeah. It's easier for me to go get this Draco than to go get this job because this Draco gonna bring me something what I need. Or it's gonna settle some. I'd rather
settle some scores.
It's gonna settle a score, or I'd rather get caught with it than without it, because of someone who I have assigned to be my opposition. So when this op stuff came out and they start pushing this and smoking on Tuka smoke, when they started this serial killer type stuff, I just like, oh, we doomed. When they start idolizing the music. Well, yeah, I mean, the drill music, man, has a lot to do with it, man. And
people say it's not the music. It ain't
the hell it ain't.
Hold on, I'm gonna add a caveat to that real quick. I never understood how people can wake up in the morning, they can do affirmations, they can do horoscopes and prayers, but listening to violent music don't make you violent. But yet you understand. If you hear something on repeat over and over, your subconscious mind starts digesting that.
Man, there's a movie that nobody really watched. It was They Clone Tyrone.
I seen it.
And in that movie, there was so many messages.
They explained it, yeah.
And in the Black community, it didn't take off. But I saw so many messages, the programming through the music. The fried chicken. They was bragging about it. They was like, oh, we got them all in a trance with this music. And if you put on some NBA YoungBoy, you done lost the whole crowd. You ever went to I've never been, but if you saw the videos,
right, it's crazy.
Of in the crowd, I mean, they're in a trance. Yep. And in that movie, They Clone Tyrone, you see it. It's art imitating life, but it's real. Yeah. Because they got him in a trance. Yeah. And that's how they were able, in the movie you saw, that's how when they started uprising and stuff, that's how they controlled. They start playing their music.
And the music come
and the music will come, and then they'll go doing something else, and it's just like.
And who was controlling it? Who was controlling it?
Yeah, Mr. Charlie.
But I think that plays a part, man, as far as like being mindful, as far as how we putting ourselves out there in the community.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that stuff is just, it's hard to pinpoint it, man, because it comes from so many aspects. But majority of people are gonna say, well, what's going on at home? You know,
That's why, yeah.
what's going on at home. But I think parents nowadays, man, we are starting to be severely just outmatched, outnumbered by everything, because the community is not as strong as it used to be. The village ain't there no more. So you talking about being, especially if it's a single parent home and you have multiple kids, you cannot, and you're trying to work, you cannot manage all of them with an iron fist. And what you supposed to do? Lock them up, tell them not to go outside, no internet, no social
That's
media.
what they did us.
We ain't had that.
Well, we got locked up in the house. We were locked up in the house when I remember growing up.
now.
She locked us. No, she didn't lock us in the house. She didn't have to do it because she, like they use that music to control. My mom used that belt, and so that was more controlling than that music.
But the thing is,
so we was always left in the house.
True.
And she was like, do not open my door.
don't open the door for
nobody.
no one. Yeah.
So I mean, we found stuff to do.
But the kids nowadays, they could be locked up in the house and they still on that phone, locked on that phone all the time, and they seeing so much more stuff now, so much worse stuff.
I saw a video maybe earlier this week. Mm-hmm. I don't know who the comedian was. It escapes my mind at the moment. But he was talking about he's done. I think he was talking about he was in a, let's just say he was in a department store, and he saw this young kid running up and down the aisles.
Yeah.
Just being.
Oh, that was Black Ron. Yeah.
That's who that was?
That was Black Ron, yeah.
That was him that said that?
Him. Yeah.
And he was, he saw the mom and,
Yeah.
and he was like, had enough of it. And he was like, he grabbed the little boy because he was just running.
Oh, snap.
Right. Yeah.
And he grabbed the little boy up like, hey, man, because his mama pleading, stop running. And so he was like, he had enough of it. So he scooped the little boy up and shook him and said, hey, you need to start listening to your mama.
Yeah.
And what you think that mama did?
Mama got on him.
Got on him.
Yeah.
Snapped on him.
Yeah.
So,
Don't touch my son.
Don't touch my son. Don't talk to my son, And so when you combine that element that you can't tell them anything because of the parents, you just leave them alone. I know I do.
Yeah.
Then they get out there in the streets and nobody else can tell them anything after that.
Only to go to jail, and now everybody's going to tell them what to do.
Yeah.
Everybody gonna tell them.
Yeah, everybody gonna tell you what to do now. So, I don't know.
I understand where the mayor's coming from. When it comes down to it's a plea to the community. Hey, I can't do it all by myself. I need y'all help.
I get it.
And my thing is, there are people, man, who are looking at that, who are looking at this man and say, hey, I need your help to make our community better. And it's still gonna be people like, nah, that's your job. It's still gonna be people like, nah.
It's amazing that people look to the mayor in this community for this.
Yeah.
But I never see nobody talk about the police chief.
Well, he fall under the mayor, ain't it?
Yeah, but normally some cities I see when their crime is depending on the aesthetics of the mayor or the police chief,
right.
That's who they're gonna put it on.
Gotcha.
I've just noticed that the police chief or they never. No one is ever talking about. No one is ever calling them to the carpet.
You always gotta have.
And
a
I don't know
guy.
what. And to the audience, I don't know the why.
Yeah.
I'm just noticed that the mayor always get the flack, but the police chief doesn't.
That is a good point. I've never heard nobody mention the police chief.
Exactly. You never hear nothing about the police chief.
No.
And these little rascals, they doing everything.
Yeah.
So.
Mike, now did I hear you say earlier before we started that you think about running for office or?
Yeah, it was a wet dream I had, man. Because but I'd say because I've seen some of the mayors in the past who got elected, like the last two, for instance, like the amount of voters was like in the hundreds. You know what I'm saying? Wow. So it's just like, I know a lot of people in Durham. Like if they see my name,
right.
I got a popular last name, and they just like, oh, that's my man. Like,
right.
I go vote for him. And,
right.
But when I see some of the things like what the current mayor is going through, it's like, man, I don't know if I'm
yeah,
you know
y'all
what I'm
got it.
saying?
Y'all got
Because I know I wouldn't want that to get in that office or for that office to be performative. Like
Ooh, yeah,
when
yeah.
somebody brings something to you like the current events we got, like I might just snap and start talking crazy to
Right.
the guys out there doing it. You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah, I
then
think he
make
did that
matters
one
worse,
time.
you know
He
what
done
I'm
got shot.
saying?
He got up on the internet. He did that one time.
Yeah. So, but it's definitely a political position, and I would say too, though, I don't think it's the mayor's responsibility, but he's like the quarterback. He's going to get the blame when things go wrong. He's going to get the credit when things go good. But I think mentorship is very important. So, like for those who are parents, if there's another child that you know of that doesn't have a father figure or something like that, you know, I have a child like that I'm involved with, you know what I'm saying? So it's each one has to play a part, you know what I'm saying?
That's what I talk about, man. Support in the community. Like a lot of people, I think they overthink it.
Yeah.
They think that you got to be so supportive. You got to do so much.
Yeah.
You don't. You can do. I'm not saying do bare minimum,
Right.
but I'm saying like there are so many different areas where you can be useful and supportive in your community.
Yeah.
Like it does not take much. We got a thing coming up this Saturday, right, Leon? The Black Men Summit or conference.
What's going on? I hope that you are enjoying this episode, but I wanted to take the time out to ask you to please subscribe to the podcast. I've noticed that a lot of people are watching but are not subscribed. Make sure you subscribe, like, share, and don't forget to hit the notification bell. That way you won't miss an episode when it's aired or about to air. And also make sure you go to impelforwardmerch.com. That's impelforwardmerch.com. Grab you something. Now back to the episode. Right.
You will do a plug for that?
It's time for that plug.
Well, by the time they see this episode, it'll be gone.
True. But yeah, man, as far as like, and it's not just Durham, man. It's any city,
Any small town, city, USA,
any neighborhood, all of
where
it, man.
there's poverty, there's crime.
Because the crazy part is like we're talking about this right now, and some people will lock in and be like, "Oh, that's just Durham." And it's like, nah, it's like everybody's going through some issues. How you gonna fix it as a community? If your community is weak, everything is weak. Everything gonna fall over. So one of the things like I talk about when I talk about like healthy masculine wellness and things that men should do, like you should love your wife, you should nurture your kids, you should know yourself, you should help build your community. Like those are things that as men we should all kind of be focusing on building and doing for each other. And that should be like a universal thing to at least get you started, just to get you give you direction. I think what I've noticed where a lot of young men they kind of drop the ball is because they just don't have the guidance, the mentorship, the direction. They don't know what they're doing. So that's why it's easy to get out there and you get persuaded by everything.
Very easy.
Everything. Anything that sounds good, that glitters, that looks good, your attention just goes immediately to it. And that might not be for you.
Yeah.
So when I try to talk to the men or the young boys, even my sons, I make sure like, hey, focus on yourself, learn who you are, you know, focus on what it looks like to be a father. When I'm talking about men and having sons, raising sons, how do you define yourself as a father, as a husband? How do you find yourself as contributing to your community? And these are questions that I didn't even get asked when I was young. You know, I had to go and look for these questions, and then I had to go and look for the answers. Like, damn, what do I look like as a dad? By the time I was already a dad. You know?
Right.
And so I had to backtrack, figure out what that was. What am I as a husband? I was already married, didn't know what I was as a husband. So if you be intentional, you get ahead of it in time, man, you can do so much work. That's the shortcut. You can cut out 20 years of senseless, needless, just out there feeling lost if you figure out a few questions for yourself. And I think that helps for the community because it's like, what do we want for our community? Well, we want to be safe. We want to be secure. We want to be thriving. We want our community to be better than it was yesterday. People don't even ask these questions in their communities, man. It's so autopilot. Wake up, go to work, go to school, come home, sleep, wake up tomorrow, repeat, you know?
Yeah.
So I think it takes a lot of purpose and direction. I think that's probably where the mayor could start at. Hey, where can we focus on as a community going forward? All right, first let's get safe, and then boom, where do we go after we're safe? What's the roadmap here? You know,
It's something I don't know. I do know that there's an old African proverb, and I'm gonna mess it up, but I'm gonna get it right.
I got you, bro. I got you, baby. I got you.
That says that a child that's rejected by the community will return to burn it down just to feel the warmth.
Yeah, yeah.
And so, you know, we probably have a lot of that going on.
Yeah, we do.
You know, along with some of the things that we talked about.
Yeah.
So, and I can see that. I can see, you know, a young man being raised within the community, feeling different rejections here, rejection there, and he's like, you know, I'm just burn it all down.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know,
If I can't have it, nobody gonna have it.
just to feel the warmth.
Yeah.
And all it is he's crying. He just needs a hug. That's why the proverb, that African proverb, said he would burn it down just to feel the warmth.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, because he needs that warm hug. He needs that warm affirmation that's probably not getting. So
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
instead of being coddled, they just need some more stern leadership. At least a portion of it.
Yeah, you mentioned the word love. You probably don't remember earlier when you was talking about kids. Do you remember when you said love?
What about love?
I think men should be able to express themselves more to men with the words "I love you."
I wholeheartedly agree. I tell my son I love you every time.
Well, I ain't talking about your son. I'm talking about other men. Like I love you, three guys.
Nah, man.
Yeah.
Man. What's this part of, remember that Rainbow Coalition was talking about?
No.
I definitely understand what you're saying. I have relationships
just
like
messing.
that. Like I really do. There's a guy that's my mentor. You know what I'm saying? And we tell each other we love each other. You know what I'm saying? No
But
funny
we ain't
business.
killing each other.
Right.
Yeah.
Is it because we love each other?
Well, what Larry was saying though is I wanted to like piggyback on that, but you know, a knowledge of self, you know, and I don't want to go too deep with that, but I know y'all know what I'm talking about when I say that, but like a lot of us just don't know who we are. And
Facts.
it starts though in the home. And so knowing at least your family, but when a lot of these kids, and I know a lot of these kids are heartbroken, and growing up at a children's home, I've been around a lot of people who have been, you know, really hurt. So, but if you can process that information with a little bit of help, and so you may come from a broken situation, but if someone can help you put it in a proper perspective, you don't have to repeat, you know, the actions maybe of, you know, your family members, but to understand why maybe I'm already kind of predispositioned to react a certain kind of way, or why I got these certain kind of feelings, you can see it right there in your family. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, this is where it's coming from. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah, that's it.
But it takes a level of like, you know, knowing yourself in that way. So we got our work to do.
Yeah, we do.
I say we euphemistically.
Yeah.
Talking about me.
But just like a little bit of clarity, we're talking about the violence that's going on in Durham, but there has been multiple like youth-related shootings within the last couple of weeks, and we're talking like 17 and below.
Yeah.
Like, it's bad.
In Durham, it says 7 people have been shot in Durham the last week, and 22 people have been shot so far in 2026.
Right.
What?
The 2025 crime report, which includes data from January through December, that was 25, shows more violence among the youth, but a decrease in crime overall.
I was going to say that too because it's another thing that I follow where, you know, the crime overall in the black community in this country has gone down.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying.
They say violent crime is down.
Yeah,
Not crime, not because I looked at that or just overall in the country, crime is down. But they talking about violent crime,
right?
Because I got my truck broke into twice.
Yeah. Oh man!
So as far as I'm
Don't
concerned,
leave your gun in there.
the crime. Oh no, never that. Because that's what they're looking for,
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's
They
what,
going gun shopping.
Yeah, and that's where a lot of those guns are coming from. But you were talking earlier about how some younger guys might look to see if picking up that gun is easier than getting a job.
Yeah.
So where I work, it got vandalized a couple months back, and these guys, it was 4 of them, they were able, and we got cameras, but they were
They don't care.
able to hit 9 cars in like 2 minutes.
Dang.
And they got stuff, but they hit another business down the street, another company. And by the time they got to the end of the street where I work, the Durham police were on to them. They took off running. And so I was talking to some of the people at the job, and I was like, you know how much trust you got to have in 3 other people to pull off a heist like that? And like, now you go somewhere,
Did
you
they
got to
catch
split
them?
up what you get. They didn't catch them.
No,
Not at that time, but
Right. I think they end up catching that ring.
They
hit
might have,
150
yeah.
cars. That said
Yeah,
responsible.
yeah.
Wow.
Because they hit,
Dang.
that ring hit the cigar lounge right down the street from here.
Okay.
I came here to film. I was supposed to go there, and I told my homeboy, I was like, man, I'll meet you there after we finish filming. It was 3 o'clock on a Sunday, right the week before Christmas.
yeah.
And it was, right there, Panera Bread, all just right there. They came Sunday on 3 o'clock, and they hit 10
daylight.
cars.
To me,
And
that,
yeah, two of my friends,
Dang.
their vehicles was broken into, and they took stuff.
Yeah.
They took some money, took some laptops, but they don't want none of that. They threw all that stuff down the road, down Chapel Hill Boulevard. That stuff was on the side of the road. They just threw it away.
Oh man.
wow.
And you could see when they caught them, you could see the pattern of the dates and the times in which they was moving, and they do not care.
Nah, they don't.
All those businesses have cameras.
Yeah.
And the one spot right there where they was hitting that they hit is what a Tesla charging station is. So all those cars got cameras, and they didn't care.
Yeah.
But you know what's the amazing thing about it? Not really amazing, is they broke the windows
Right.
and no car alarm went off. And I don't know how they doing this. They're breaking windows without the car alarms going off.
That's crazy.
And so apparently they've picked up some tools of the trade.
Yeah, they got something. Because even if you break the window and open the door without the key, it still should go
Well, they
off.
was getting in my truck with my truck locked.
Yeah.
Now they didn't break my window, so I was thankful for that.
Something they got off Amazon.
They took my glasses, man. But
no, bro.
And then I went back and bought some more. And they stole them. Man, they broke in my truck
They didn't want you going nowhere.
on
They
Tuesday
don't want you
and then
seeing
a
nothing.
Thursday of the same week. I was like, and you could see them on camera.
Yeah.
Just walking the neighborhood, like no care in the world. And then
Right.
they took their time.
Yeah.
They sat in my truck and went through it. Just sat in it, going through it. And I say,
And see, that's what make you frustrated,
Yeah.
man. Being in the community. Y'all know me. I hate thieves more than
I
anything.
hate
I hate
thieves, man.
thieves more than liars and cheats. Because thieves can rob from you and you never see them.
yeah.
At least a liar and a cheat, they got to come to me. They got to interact somehow.
Yeah.
But that I understand that makes the community more frustrated because it's like, hey, if you ain't gonna do something about it, I will. And so
Right.
people gonna start
Right.
Taking matters in their
yeah,
own
right,
hands.
exactly, man.
And now you have another situation.
now you got people lying and waiting for the thieves to come through.
I'm not gonna lie, I got dark. Because
It's easy,
I got
bro.
dark, man.
It's easy.
I got really, really dark. Thought about getting in a raised position. I mean, I really got dark.
Yeah.
So I can only imagine, and I know these are my kids, so I can only imagine if it was somebody else
Yeah.
that's not gonna have that pause, like, wait a minute, man.
Right,
These are
yeah.
your kids, man. These kids look like you, and so, but I'm still mad.
Yeah.
Because in the manner in which they move, they do not care. And like I said, when they broke into that in broad daylight,
Right.
they hit everybody like that.
Yeah.
They don't care about the cameras.
But my thing is the amount of effort and energy and trust in somebody who is probably, they'll rob you too, because no honor amongst thieves. But
Right.
my thing is, to me, that's more stressful. As somebody who's done some things like that before, I know it's easier to really just go get a job. It really is.
Hey, for sure.
It's
we need to put
easy.
that
It's
out.
steady. You know what I'm saying? You know your money's coming on a certain day.
But now, is that considered lame?
Well, it is to some people. It absolutely is. You
Yeah,
make a
I'm
good
lame.
point. But
It's
if
tough.
if you could come up with those kind of heists and get that kind of coordination and cooperation amongst each
Right.
other to pull off heists like that,
You know
then you can do
logistics.
something like this.
You
You know
could be
logistics.
in, yeah,
could be
you
a
know
shift leader.
logistics.
You can do
could go
something
work
like
the warehouse.
this though. Like if you get enough resources, go work for 6 months and say,
Go
hey
legit.
man,
Go
let's
legit.
get a couple $1,000. Let's go buy some equipment. Let's go do something, and make us a little business.
It'll be like Stringer Bell from The Wire.
Yeah.
Marlo.
Yeah.
Nah, I got it.
But that's where mentorship is important again. Like they got to be given, the confidence to want to do something like that, and like you say, not feel lame.
Right.
You know what I'm
got
saying?
it. Yeah. Lame is cool, kids.
Hey, I would rather be.
Yeah. Be lame and alive.
I work hard to live a boring life.
Oh my
You know what I'm
God.
saying? Like
There you
that's
go.
a
Yes.
privilege, man. Getting old is a privilege. Cause it's too much ripping and running out there. And it's just it ain't the streets ain't for everybody.
Nah.
You know what I'm saying? For sure.
So let me read this right here. It's coming up March 13th at 11:30 a.m. to 1:30 p.m. Then March 20th, 11 a.m. to 1:30 p.m. It's community conversations on reducing violence in Durham.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, that's coming up. You can register. Let's see here at www.durhamnc.gov/5490/violence/reduction. So yeah, you can do that. Check it out.
Nah, that's dope.
Yeah.
You need that.
Absolutely, man.
Yeah, yeah.
that.
I'm moving on. Larry,
Yo.
you put in the conversation about black herbalists and whatever else you were talking about.
Facts.
Some brain surgery or something.
So I saw a short documentary. It was a clip of a short documentary of an African herbalist from a Kenyan tribe out of Kenya, obviously. But what he was doing was he was performing open brain surgery on a patient, like in the middle of the jungle. And this is probably like from the 80s or something. Like I said, it was a documentary. But it was highlighting how these practices were thousands of years old, dating back to ancient Egypt and things like that. And as I was looking through some of the comments in the of the video of the clip I was watching, there was so many people, a lot of black people were talking down on the process and the procedure. And that just made me, that was like a realization of how much we are disconnected as black people from that part of our history, from our ancestry. And I got it. I'm not talking about black people that are always here in America the whole time. I'm just talking about people who have African ancestry, you know? Like we have those ancient herbs and medicines that still work to this day, but we don't have the knowledge to unlock it. You know what I mean? But just watching that, and I mean, it was really a graphic, like, documentary, and the patient was still awake. What they did was they gave him like a ton of alcohol, a lot of it, just so he would not be coherent. I don't think that would work as well if you're bleeding, you know, to have that much alcohol in your system.
Right.
But they did it. They did the procedure. They bandaged him up, and the dude walked off. And this was in the middle of a jungle. It wasn't AI. It wasn't none of that. You know, because at first I'm like, nah, this ain't real. This ain't real. But nah, it was a pretty real thing. But my highlight was just the disconnection we have to those type of practices and that ancient knowledge. Yeah. And now we become so dependent on, man, go to the doctor, write a prescription off, and, you know, pay your deductible, your co-pays, and that might get denied.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
You got to worry about that part.
You got to worry about that. You got to call Luigi.
That's it.
But you just
Boy.
you know, I'm just saying. Like we have connections to those ancient medicines and their practices out there. But it's disheartening, man, when I kind of look at my own people who just immediately shut it down. Yeah. Immediately. And I'm like, you ain't even tried. Like this is part of your culture, this is part of your ancestry. Like this is real. You know, this is what people were really doing. Like people were disinfecting germs before the microscope. You know? Yes. Like that's recorded history. So just looking at things like that in the process of that, I'm just, like I said, I'm heartbroken, I'm disheartened that so much of what we call our culture now is just cut off, man. It's been amputated, you know? Yeah. And it's a struggle. So.
Definitely feel like that's an effect of colonization, man.
Oh, huge.
Just the colonization of the mind. You know, everything that about your own culture has to be, you know, disparaged in order for the new culture or, you know, the dominant culture to really be forced or to be effective, you know. Yeah. From language, food, medicine, you know, that's all a part of it, you know. Yeah. And so I definitely like staying, connected with natural remedies. I brought a book for it too. So I'm gonna kind of plug it real quick if I can, but I don't know how well you say African American slave medicine. This one is Black Monument and a Monument and Black Initiative Encouraged, but this is about the children's home that I was talking about. But this one right here though, like it talks about the different herbs that slaves use and how they use them. Like I got notes and highlight stuff in here, man. But like today, a few years ago, when the sea moss was really very popular and stuff like that, I was like, let me look into this stuff and see what's going on because, for me, and one of the other things was How to Eat to Live by Elijah Muhammad. Like I really got into stuff like that and started reading these books about how, the foods that we eat really are the best preventative measure for us not to get sick. But also when we do, there's normally something, herbal that can be taken because a lot of those pharmaceutical companies, they go to Africa to get, you know what I'm saying?
They exploit it.
To find out what works. Yep. And then they put it in a pill form, you know what I'm saying? So I do not in any way, neglect or disparage when I do see stuff like that. Right, you know what I'm saying? I want to know more about I'm curious. I think that's a healthy curiosity. Especially if it's a natural, anything that's natural, and I know it's not adverse to the body. Like, okay, they're saying that this works. Let me see why. What properties in it is gonna make it, You
gotta do your own due diligence.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. It makes sense. But I don't want to give away too much, but
go ahead.
Like right now, I'm taking oregano oil and black seed oil.
Hey, that oregano oil be getting you right.
Yeah,
it'll get you right.
Yeah, and so, but I've felt the positive effects since using it. You know what I'm saying? And now I'm about to back off a little bit, but it's all fair game to me. I don't blindly trust this pharmaceutical system that's here in this country. You know what I mean? But there's.
Oh no, go ahead. I'm listening to you, but I'm like, when you guys talking about those black seed oils and oregano. I mean, I have them. I've been taking them. Then I stopped. I didn't notice anything. I was about to ask, what do y'all notice?
Well, I took it originally to detox. You know what I'm saying? Just to work on my gut health.
Okay.
But I have very bad allergies, and I can get congested very easily with sinuses and stuff like that. But I've just felt, more capacity in my nasal since I've been taking it. But what I didn't realize at the time, because I can't remember this guy's name, the young black guy, the doctor. You
Yaki?
No, not Yaki, the other guy. It'll come to me in a minute.
Yahweh
but anyway,
dude?
Not Yaki.
I know you're talking
another
about.
Guy, Bobby Price.
Bobby Price, yeah.
I think that's his name. But he was talking about it. He said that he would use oregano oil like right before he gets on a flight to boost his immune system.
Okay.
And then I've seen a couple of other people who said that they do it as well during flu season and cold season. They just use oregano oil and they don't get sick.
Yeah.
But I've definitely felt the difference in my digestion since I've been doing it.
One thing, man.
I don't know. No, I don't. I was just because I have it and I've been, I get it through Amazon. It comes through, and I have black seed oil. I take omega-3s. What's that? Oregano. Yeah. And I take that cocktail of that combination, and I don't notice anything. Yeah. But I don't stop it. I say it's got to be helping somewhere.
Do you get sick? Because usually,
remember, I was sick for 2 weeks. And I was taking that stuff.
While you was taking it?
But everybody in the hospital got sick. Oh. We were all sick.
Okay.
Yeah, because I lost my voice. Remember, I thought I was going to the upper room.
You was whispering for 2 weeks.
And I was taking this stuff.
Yeah.
But it couldn't combat that new strain of
that's another
was
thing
going
too.
on.
Yeah. Because you talk about
everybody had it.
If you're talking about some ancient remedies, but you're talking about these new types of viruses, it's tough with that, man. It's tough. Hold on. One thing I was talking about, the heartbreak between the disconnection of our roots and that. Something you were just talking about too. Yeah. So when it comes to that disconnect that we have with our roots, like I feel we have to be careful because health trends can just run off real quick.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
I feel like when Dr. Sebi was doing his thing, like so many people who didn't know anything about health jumped on him and made him trendy. That was just his way of life. You know what I'm saying? Like that was him doing his thing. Juicing and no meats, eating clean and stuff like that. But we got to be careful with our community because, man, health is one of those things that we haven't really made a priority.
Yeah.
Right.
But the remedies have always been there. You know, there's so many people with their grandparents that are like, oh yeah, I remember doing this, taking that, and it'll fix you right up. You know, those recipes ain't getting passed down anymore.
Right.
You know? Like it's becoming, our community is becoming more dependent on someone else's community. You know what I'm saying? On someone else's recipes, on someone else's treatments. And it's like, I see this in our community and it's like, man, I don't like the way it's going. Put it that way.
Yeah.
So when I see stuff like that, when I look at this documentary, I'm like, man, we've had these practices. We've had these skills. And you always bring it up. When you talk about 1619, like, when we were here, doctors were stolen. You know, scientists were stolen, astronomers were stolen.
They didn't go over there and get slaves.
Yeah,
They
exactly.
went over there and got herbalists.
People that came over
went
here
over there and got doctors and surgeons. And
Exactly. So when you talk about this what is this, slave book of medicine, American Slave Medicine, tons of recipes and remedies in there.
Yeah.
You know, but you gotta be careful
It's
now.
like
'cause
a
this
lost
stuff,
art.
Yeah, exactly. You gotta be careful now. This stuff getting painted over.
There's I was telling somebody, shout out to Rashad. Rashad told me, he say, hey man, I listen to Urban View like you too. I mentioned Urban View on the last podcast. And I told, somebody responding to me, it's like, hey man, I listen to Urban View too. On Urban View tomorrow, there is a young lady, Dr. Senyata Amin. She's in D.C. She has a natural teas, Calabash. I think it's right up there by Howard. Her brick and mortar is I think it's by Howard University, and her name is Dr. Senyata Amin. And when she comes on, she does a segment towards the end of their 10 o'clock hour, and her mama's Jamaican, so she has that Caribbean background, and to hear her talk about herbs and medicine and the different things and what are the municipalities of these, and it's always phenomenal on Friday when she comes on, and she'll talk about the black root, she'll talk about black salt, she'll talk about different herbs and why, and she get this herb from Brazil because it's known for mucus and reducing inflammation.
That's dope.
She talks it, and she's always educating, and I'm always listening to it. But every time I go try to buy the teas, they're out. But
of course.
But then she talks about different. She does a blog or on her website where she makes different things with different honeys and different stuff. So when you talk about the herbal practice, I get to hear her and her passion. But how she got all of this was passed down from her elders, and she would always reference, well, this is something my auntie used to do, and this is what my mom used to do, or this is something that my grandmother does. And so they passed all these recipes down, and she even cooks with it. She'll cook a cornbread with all kind of things in it that are herbs. And it's good for this, or she'll do different things, and so, or make different lattes, and it have those different herbs that are good for our body. I mean, it's impressive to hear her talk about it.
That's what we need more of. Man. We need more of that in the community.
It's very impressive.
We need a voice like that in the community, like on repeat, because it's out there.
Yeah, you have a lot of people now. I think we are more aware of different herbs or spices to take or use for our health. I think we're a lot more, just like financial literacy. We just way behind on that. we catching up to that now, and even with the health and what we're able to take, I think
my issue, man, is when you're seeing something like that, where it is an expression of your culture and your heritage. Like, don't talk down on it, man. Like you said, it's a have a healthy curiosity for it.
Yeah.
Like, for me, I always seek to understand. You know, whether I know what it is or I don't, I'm not gonna open my mouth and just go off on it at first. I just want to let me digest what I'm seeing. You know, and I think like that's where we should start, because you might find something that is going to be very informational for you, very beneficial for you, your family, your culture, your heritage. You know, so I mean, I think that's something dope for just for Black history in general. You know?
Right. Yeah, we've always been people that practice holistic healing.
Yeah.
You know, we just kind of gotten away
and
from
spiritual.
it. Right.
Yeah.
Well, it's holistic.
Yeah,
That ties into the spiritual.
Definitely.
Just kind of gotten away from it. I think more as Leon said, we're waking up to these things and asking the questions, and through remembrance, we're getting back to it. So,
Yeah.
I definitely think that too. Doing things to be preventative is way more
That's the key,
beneficial.
bro.
oh yeah,
And
that's
so,
preventative
key,
maintenance.
bro.
Yeah.
But even like even when things do happen, I don't know if y'all noticed, but if you get a toothache, and my sister told me this, she was like, a clove. She's like, it works.
Yeah.
You do that. My daughter had a staph infection. We didn't know it was a staph infection at the time, but she was about 4 or 5 years old. Her finger had swole up so big, and my mama took a turnip leaf and put it on collard green, and wrapped it around it, and it drew the
The infection out.
yeah. So when we went to the hospital, though, the nurse or the triage was just like, "Oh, you knew to do that?" It's like, well, that was a good thing to do, but they still gave her like a antibiotic.
let me prescribe
drip,
this
you know
for
what
you,
I'm
right?
saying?
They gave her antibiotic.
Yeah, because she had a staph infection, but
That's
it did-
normally that's bad.
Yeah. They think it was MRSA, but
It
my
had
mother,
MRSA?
she had
Wow.
yeah, but my mother, she did have that knowledge. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, yeah.
She didn't ever use it on me growing up.
You know how many
But when it
people-
came to my daughter, she was like, she just thought
Boom,
of it.
it was
Boom,
there.
it was
Yeah,
right
hey.
there.
You
I just
know,
remember.
so your daughter was, because normally MRSA, young infants
yeah.
get MRSA.
Yeah.
You know how many kids die of MRSA? I mean, for me to hear this, and it was a natural remedy that did it. There's a ton of people that die of C. diff or
No, they thought it was MRSA.
it could have been MRSA. I mean, most of the times it's in young kids.
Yeah.
And or C. diff.
Yeah.
Which you was just talking about, but that's pretty interesting that there was a remedy for that, like you saying, the clove. I do know I couldn't get to the my dentist. I had to wait 2 days, and I was in excruciating pain, and not constant, but when it hit, it hit.
Yeah.
And he told me, he said, "Man, take 800." He said, alternate, between the Tylenol and I forget whatever else. And I'm alternating, and I can't get it under control with that until I can get to see him. And I went on Google MD, and the clove with some warm water and some turmeric powder.
Yeah.
Put that in my mouth
yeah.
and gargled it and kept it in there until it got room temperature, spin it out. And I did not get those attacks, because what it wasn't I had a constant toothache. It would be that nerve would get.
Oh yeah.
That nerve would start, and then it would hurt for like 20 minutes. I'm talking about shut me down. When I mixed that concoction up and gargled that, did not have episode until I went to go
That's
see
what's
him.
up. Yeah.
And because I wouldn't have made it,
Yeah.
because the alternating of whatever he told me to take, it wasn't cutting it.
Yeah.
But when I did that, it stopped. And I was impressed. I was like, man.
That's what my sister said. She swore by it. She was like,
I'm telling you, I
They
had some
out there.
clove,
They out there.
some warm
They
salt
out
water. It
there.
was clove, warm salt water, and turmeric. Turmeric powder.
Turmeric, yeah.
Turmeric. However you say that.
Turmeric.
Yeah.
Or turmeric.
Yeah,
I know
turmeric.
women who would take turmeric tea during their cycle to ease their cramps.
okay.
You know what I'm saying? Something simple.
Yeah.
Home remedies, man.
But we just getting into these turmerics just coming back,
Yeah.
But you know what's funny is we're all cooking with paprika. I'm never gonna see paprika the same after watching Cat Williams' Netflix special. He was like, "What is paprika? It's not a plant." It's, man, I started thinking about it.
Yeah, what is this? Yeah.
It's not a plant. It's like, oh man. I said, okay, all right. I don't even see paprika the same.
Facts.
I still don't know where it come from. You know?
It's what did he say? This ground up bell pepper or something like
that's what it
that.
is?
Yeah, that's what it is. Not a plant. It's not.
Yeah. I remember seeing the special, but I don't remember him saying that though.
Yeah, he was like, they've been lying to us. I came here to tell you, you know. But you know, it's just like when Cat does that, he introduces a thing, and now you think about it.
Damn,
You know, the
look
last
this
one was the
up,
oxtails. He say, where did the oxtails come from? You know.
Yeah.
Well, it says paprika's produced by drying and grinding red peppers.
Yeah.
Yeah, the bell peppers.
Yeah. So, well,
There you go.
Yes.
That's it.
It's an herb or a plant.
And then they just add smoke to it.
None of that.
They just made a smoky version. That's it.
Right.
yeah.
All right.
Yep. Look, with y'all that are listening, go get you some herbs and some spices.
Yes.
Heal
Right.
yourself.
I bet some of
Herbs.
them already got some herbs.
I
Look
think that's
into
the
it.
problem.
I bet, yeah. Some of them got
the herbs for healing.
you got the cooking herbs and the healing herbs.
Well, it's been a good one. It's been a good one. I hope y'all that are listening or watching got something out of this episode. And I hope you stay tuned. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe to Forward Social Conversations podcast on all your streaming platforms. Until the next time, we'll see you. Remember, we talk about anything,
Anything.
but not everything, because everything
everything.
don't need to be talked about.
All right.
Peace.
Bars.
Peace.
Peace.